have a say, you must know. You must know every single day what these people is doing and what they're spending, because you already agree to pay back what they spend. Suriname today. Suriname is very clear. Suriname says any pre-contract cost, you will bear that yourself if you find gold. I want to know when you find gold, let us talk business. What is there for you and what is there for me. And guess what, Guyana? That pre-contract cost comes with interest behind it. An interest rate that we had no say on. Now, Guyana, you gotta wake up and smell the coffee. If not, you'll be chewing gum for the rest of your life.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM. The time is now 12 hours in Guyana, and you're listening to Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith.
And I'm Amrita Koshal.
This is your main newscast for Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. In your headlines today, after 3 years of pumping oil, Guyana is still without capacity to do environmental tests. U.S. company setting stage to step in, location already acquired. The park and fire reportedly started where dangerous oil chemicals were stored, and business icon Yesu Prasad passes on. Minister apologizes after man walks half mile to bury infant son, and $6 million to repair Demerara Harbor Bridge. Meanwhile, cops find stolen car at Happy Acres workshop, and lawyers want judicial review of Essequibo businessman's killing. Stay tuned.
Nothing in life is free, but the MyDigiCell app is. You don't need to be on a data plan to use the app. You can conveniently chat with Ruby or an agent for help. Check your account balance, activate a Prime bundle, or gift it to a friend. Send credit. Check the Georgetown and Burpees Bridge schedules. Activate a roaming plan. Play Shake to Win for cool prizes. So don't worry about a data plan, buddy. Download the MyDigiCell app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store today. Digicel, better together.
And now for the news in detail. Following a review of the facilities and equipment here, it has been found that Guyana's laboratories do not have the capacity to do proper environmental tests associated with the oil and gas sector. This was noted in ExxonMobil's Comprehensive Waste Management Plan submitted to the EPA last year. Regarding Ecotox, ESSO said this is a Trinidad-based environmental testing and consultancy service that is considering the establishment of an environmental laboratory operation in Guyana. ESSO said that Ecotox may not be ready to offer services for another 5 years. Turning its attention to Ground Structures Engineering Consultants Limited, or GSEC, at Liliendahl, Greater Georgetown, ESSO said it has an existing geotechnical laboratory, but it is not currently equipped for environmental testing and is essentially in a startup mode. The oil company said GSEC may not be ready to offer services for another 5 years.
Moving on, the popular Leparcan Shipping Company's storage bond and the storage bond of another shipping company, identified as Tropical Shipping Company, were destroyed by a massive inferno which started just before midnight on Sunday. The bonds are located on the premises of the Guyana National Shipping Corporation wharf at Lombard and Broad Streets, Charlestown, Georgetown. According to reports, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of vehicles and other imported items, which were stored in containers, barrels, and boxes, were completely destroyed by the blaze. A senior member of staff who requested anonymity reported that a ship arrived Sunday and a few staffers had worked late offloading it. At around 22 hours 30, the staffers left the premises. It was shortly after that the blaze erupted. The staffer also revealed that hazardous oil chemicals for ExxonMobil were stored in the bond where the fire occurred.
And now let's tell you Dr. Yesu Prasad, who for decades of public life was revered as the nation's top businessman and philanthropist, and whose advocacy for a vibrant private sector and respect for rule of law helped shape this country, died on Monday after a period of illness. He was 93. Prasad played a leading role in the business community here and has also left his mark in the social and political spheres of this country. Demerara Distillers Limited, DDL, one of Dr. Prasad's companies, said in a statement that he lived a life that brought to the fore the best possibilities which often were invisible to others. According to DDL, present and future generations of employees are and will be thankful for the strong foundation that he has built to make the company succeed.
And we now tell you that Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, on Monday apologized on behalf of his ministry after reports surfaced that a man was forced to walk half of a mile from the Mabaruma Hospital to a cemetery located in the Region 1 district to bury his infant son who had died from COVID-19. According to information received, the father had requested a drop from local drivers, but because of their fear of catching the virus, they refused. The father was reportedly left with no choice but to carry his son's body on his shoulder all the way to the cemetery. Dr. Anthony explained that after a patient is pronounced dead, an official handover to the family takes place, followed by the relatives being assisted in taking the remains to the cemetery. In the case of the dead child at Mabaruma, Dr. Anthony said that there was a mix-up between staffers at the ministry and the police, and therefore they could not get the vehicle in a timely manner.
Moving on, the ongoing rehabilitation works for spans 9 and 10 of the Demerara Harbor Bridge are being done at a cost of $1.2 billion. This is according to General Manager of the bridge, Wayne Watson. Early last year, the company, Industrial Fabrication, was awarded a contract to replace and repair the damaged retractor spans, which is the most critical section of the bridge, which absorbs the most wear and tear. The Demerara Harbor Bridge Corporation, in a release, had noted that the objective of the rehabilitation project is to restore the retractor's spans by eliminating the existing structural deficiencies and reconstruct retractor span 9 so as to improve the bridge's condition, geometrics, safety, and load carrying capacity. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 7 in Guyana. We will return after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
And back with more news in detail, attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes yesterday revealed plans to file legal proceedings to challenge the decision of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Ali-Haq, to institute a manslaughter charge against the cop who allegedly killed Essequibo businessman Orrin Boston. Last week, Police Constable 32-year-old Sherwin Peters of Amelia's Ward, Linden, made his first court appearance for a manslaughter charge almost 4 months after the businessman was shot and killed during a SWAT operation at his Dartmouth, Essequibo Coast home. Attorneys-at-law Hughes and Conyo Sandiford had applied as a party of interest for Boston's family in the matter. The killing could not have been justified by police, thus the rank was placed under close arrest. In protest to the shooting, residents had mounted protest action on the Essequibo coast.
And moving on, Soku ranks on Monday found a taxi driver's stolen car in a workshop located at Happy Acres on the east coast of Demerara. A white Toyota Allion motor car was hijacked around 19 hours 30 on Friday last by 2 gunmen in South Rheinfeld, Georgetown. We had reported that the bandits might have used a woman to lure the driver into the trap. She was the one who hired him for a drop to the location where he was hijacked and had reportedly vanished after the car was stolen. Sources close to the investigation revealed that detectives might have stumbled upon an organized criminal ring that steals cars and resells them. Detectives arrested the owner of the shop and the man who was spraying the stolen car. A third person was later arrested after he was identified as the one who took the car to the workshop. He has since been identified as one of the armed suspects that hijacked the car from the man last Friday.
Moving on, the continuation of the paper committal for the Kaieteur News security guards who were jointly charged with murder will get underway next month before Senior Magistrate Lerone Daly. On the last hearing of the matter in the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, the magistrate was not present, and as such, the matter was adjourned to February 7th. The two security guards, Jan Licorice and Tony Waldron, who were on remand for allegedly killing a homeless man, will go through a paper committal process. This process sees the witnesses' statements and documentary evidence being put forward to the court without the witnesses being present. This information is inventoried and marked as exhibits. It is alleged that Licorice and Waldron, between March 15, 2021 and March 16, 2021, at Kaieteur News' Saffron Street, Georgetown office, murdered 58-year-old Mohabir Singh, called Email.
And now let's tell you, the Ministry of Health reported yesterday that a vaccinated 87-year-old man from Region 4 who contracted COVID-19 has died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 1,096. Meanwhile, in its latest COVID-19 dashboard, the Health Ministry recorded 892 new COVID-19 cases, taking the total number of confirmed cases to 52,095. 15 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU. 158 individuals are in institutional isolation, 11,196 in home isolation, and 4 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 39,630 persons have recovered from the virus. And it is time we now head over to page 7 of the Kaieteur News. As son of the soil, Yesu Prasad is no more, but his legacy will remain etched in the annals of our history. He was an outstanding mogul and trendsetter in the business arena. Indeed, our country could have been so much better off if we had more patriots like Yesu Prasad. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith.
And I'm Amrita Koshal.
Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Welcome to the National Outlook on Tuesday, January 18th. I hope that the week has started fine for you. And as I promised, we're going to talk about mainly governmental affairs this week. We started yesterday with the High Court filing. Today I want to talk about corruption. From Sunday's paper, Prime Minister's office purchases $790 million in hampers, but provide bills for $213 million, audit report. That's the first part of what we're going to talk about. 790 minus 213 leaves $577 million unaccounted for. My fellow Guyanese, whether you're a PNC supporter or a PPP supporter, that's over $500 million that we don't know